everyone, and welcome to the Paletti Rosa homestead. Well, as I showed in my picture, I have got a peach tree outside, and this is the first year I got peaches in quite a while. They're not the greatest looking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the ball canning book today, and I'm going to can some peaches. I'll see what I get from it. All I'm going to do is peach slices. Today is day 11 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. So let's see how many peaches I can get. I really don't know. Some of them are really not the greatest looking. But let me see what I can do. I hope you stick along with me. So the first step, it says, is to boil your peaches for about 25 to 30 seconds. I'm going to use my water bath canner for this because it's a nice big pot of water that I can do. And by boiling them for the 25 to 30 seconds, you're going to be able to take the peels off. So let's get this boiling. And then at the same time, I'm going to fill up my sink up with some nice cold water. Since I'm waiting for my water to boil, I thought I'd make my syrup. So I'm making a light syrup with this. So I've got 5 1/4 cups of water. I have 2 cups of sugar, and I am going to use a 1/4 cup of fresh honey. And I'm going to let that come to a boil. And I got to get the rest of this out, so I will be right back. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to try something a little bit different in my syrup. I'm going to put in a little allspice, a little bit of ground cinnamon, and a very small amount of ground cloves. So just hold on. So what I did was I put in a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. This is very similar to the honey spiced peaches. Very similar. So I'm just going to let that come to a boil. When the syrup comes to a boil, then what you do is you just leave it simmering because you want to pour this hot syrup over your peaches when they're done. And I'm still waiting for the water to boil. It's almost there. I'll be right back. My water is now boiling. So I'm going to take the peaches one at a time and I'm going to put them in. And then at that point, that's when I'm going to add the 30 seconds on. So I'll be back. So I have them all in the water. And I'm just going to stir them up. And like I said, I'm going to let them go for about 30 seconds. And now this is boiling, so I want to turn this down to just a simmer. I just had Mr. Paletti try it, the syrup, and he thought it was excellent also. Okay, we'll be back as soon as I put them in the cold water. So they're all in the cold water now. And as you can see, some of the peels are coming right off. Now I want to let everybody know this is the first time I've ever canned peaches because like I said, our peach tree has not been very productive. So you're going on this journey along with me. So I've taken the first peach out of the water and I could see how you could peel it right off. Now for this recipe, for doing peaches, for doing really any type of produce, Ball has a product, it's called Fruit Fresh. And what it does is it stops your fruit from turning a brown color. That was a good peel. Look at that. Then it says to cut it. In a round circle and peel it back. And then you got to get the pit out. That I think is going to be the challenge. So I'm just going to cut this piece The ball book does not tell you how to get out of pit. Oh, there it goes. And there's the pit. And there you go. Here's another peach. Again, just peel back the fruit, the skin. That was a nice peel back. Now just notice this has a mark on it. See the mark right there? So I want to cut that out. Looks like it has a bigger mark. So we'll see what I can do with this peach. Yeah, this was not a good peach, as you can see. Look at the brown inside. So I'm just going to push that off to the side and work on another one. You know, let me try one this way. I want to try cutting it first. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad or whatever. Like I said, I'm just trying. It seems to come off a lot easier doing it that way, cutting it first and then peeling it back. Look at that. 2 swipes and I'm done. So I guess that's going to be the way to go. And that's it. I will be back as soon as I get all these peaches done. I decided to come back in because I forgot to tell you how to use the Fruit Fresh. What you want to do is when you got some peaches peeled, is just sprinkle a little bit on. Shake it up in the container and that's it. Okie doke, so we'll be back. So I am on my last 2 peaches. I had to throw a few of them away. They just had spots on them and stuff that I just didn't like. So I found out by doing this, cut it in half first. Peel back as much of the skin as you can. From the halfway point, cut a 1/4 slice. Take your knife and just jiggle it back and forth, and it comes right out. Then the next slice you could pretty much do by your hand. If you have a big one, I would just cut it again. Now you're on your other half. Again. And then that way it comes right out. Don't forget to keep putting your Fruit Fresh on. Now I'm on my last one. If you have a bad peach, don't risk the rest of your peaches to save that one. It's just not worth all the time and effort you're going to take to do all this. And then you have a bad peach that you're putting in your jar, and the rest of the peaches go bad. So again, I cut it once. Now I'm going to cut it in the 1/4. And it comes right out. Halfway mark, cut it again in a 1/4. Just maneuver it out. Now if you get a piece like that, that's the the pit. Just scrape it out. Grab your pit and pull. And that's it. I got a nice big batch of peaches, and now we're going to fill our jars. Wash your hands up all good. My jars are all clean and sterile. You want to start filling your jars. Be right back. I wanted to make sure I had my measurement. I wanted to make sure I had a debubbler little tool, a ladle, and my syrup. So I'm just going to fill this to about a 1/2 inch headspace. I'm not going to get that many jars because, like I said, I did not have a great harvest this year, but like the challenge says, every bit counts. So every bit that I can get on in here and get on my shelves is just good for me. So there I have my jar. I'm going to take some of this luscious syrup. And again, you want to fill it to a 1/2 inch headspace. So I usually get it, then go in and debubble. If you do not debubble, you're going to have bubbles on the bottom and it's going to cause a lot of problems, which you don't want. Make sure you push your peaches all the way underneath. Take my tool to a 1/2 inch. Why can't I see the 1/2 inch today? Okay. 1/2 inch. And I want to put a little bit more sauce in. And I'm right at it. Like I said again, make sure you get that all in there. Take a nice clean cloth, towel. Make sure you get all that stuff off, because believe me, there is a lot on there. Check it again just to make sure you've got your 1/2 inch headspace. And I am right there. Once you've cleaned it all off, and I am bad today, I apologize. I will be right back. I have to get some lids. I thought I had lids for largemouth. I knew I had the lids. They were just behind me. Put your lid on. Screw it on and do the extra oomph. And that's what your peaches will look like. I'll be right back. Let me fill up the rest of my jars. Well, you'll see I got 4 quarts of peaches. And I had a couple peaches left over with some of the juice, and my husband just loved it. So it did come out great. So I'm really happy about that. Well, I'm on to my next project. So my husband went out and picked more peaches. And between the two of us, we were able to can 9 quarts of honey spiced peaches. Now I'm going to put them in the canner. It's a water bath can. It's 25 minutes, but because I am over 1,000 feet in my elevation, I'll go an extra 5 more minutes. So I'll process these in a water bath canner for 30 minutes, and then we're done. Okay, due to the nasty weather we're having outside, and it looks like we're gonna get another just downpour,
I'm just going to do one preservation today, and that was my peaches. And in the comment section, I will turn around and leave the recipe. So thank you for visiting the Paletti Rosa Homestead. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. It's really important. Leave a comment. I'd like to know what you think of this recipe. And have a blessed day. See everybody tomorrow. Bye-bye.